Any sport.
Well, starting last year, because we got some friends on the Lions staff, started to go to a couple of games. So I usually go to 2 or 3 a year for the Lions, and I do enjoy sitting in the stands and watching the game because I get a chance to watch it and talk about it with my son or one of my daughters, or sit there and talk about it, debate what's supposed to happen with my wife. There's always a debate involved there.
I've discovered that. Yes.
Yes.
First of all, I'll just say this: I absolutely love sitting in the stands.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to look up the press box and think, God, I'd be cool to sit up there. And then after a while, you're like, you know what? It's actually more fun down there. There's no cheering in the press box. You kind of, being that it's a work environment, you find yourself it's kind of sterile. In terms of fun, you can get your job done, which is what it's there for. It's fun being on the field at all the college games. I get to work. I do like that. It's a unique perspective. It's also not a great way to watch a game. I'll give you an example. The 4th and 1 play, Michigan versus Ohio State that everybody was talking about.
Yeah.
To me, from field level, I'm like, well, that play got blown up. And then when I went back and saw the TV copy and the fact that there was a wide open hole to the right, that Ben Bredesen was the pulling lead guard, and Hassan Haskins just chose the wrong hole. Man, young back, it's going to happen. But unfortunately, he chose the wrong hole, and had he followed Ben Bredesen through the correct hole, he might have gone 70 yards for a touchdown. I had no idea when I was watching at field level. No idea. Yeah. So you're sitting in the stands. Way to gain your composure. You're sitting in the stands, and you did something. Was this the first time you did in the stands what you did?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think every fan has done this, and you experienced it the first time. Now, you played high school football at Clawson.
Mm-hmm.
What was your nickname?
The Rock.
Okay, you were the Rock. Mm-hmm. Then you were...
We don't believe, no way!
What?
You don't believe him?
It was Big John, wasn't it?
No.
No.
Your nickname was the Rock, or the school's nickname was the Rock?
No. The school's nickname was the Clawson Trojans.
Okay, all right.
Is that what you were asking me?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. So you were the Clawson Trojans.
Misunderstood the question.
But your nickname was the Rock?
Yeah.
Okay, is that what you guys are laughing at?
Yeah. Everyone called you Big John, and you know it.
Nobody called you? Did they call you the Rock?
No, not what do you call yourself? We smell what you're cooking, John.
Yeah.
All right, so you go from being a Trojan to a Wolverine to a Redskin to a Lion. That takes up the better part of how many years? So it's 4, 5, 9, 11.
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Did you ever sit in the stands when you were a player at any time?
No. Okay. No, I mean, when I was a recruit, I sat in the stands at a Michigan game.
Okay. Did you go anywhere else?
No.
Okay.
There was nowhere else to go.
You had one visit. So you sat in the stands once in the better part of 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So John did something that every fan has done. Take us through the timeline of what happened.
So I've got my son and my father-in-law. We go down on the field. We're enjoying the pregame festivities. We go up to our seats, and we get, before we want to sit down, I make my son, who's 8, obviously use the bathroom and make sure that when the game starts, I don't want to have to get up. I also want to make sure I come back with enough food to sustain me to halftime.
Sustain you or sustain your family?
Well, to sustain my son, but he's not going to eat as much as me, so there's a dual purpose.
Yes.
So my son gets a hot dog. We've got the pretzel. I've got a load of nachos that are sitting on my lap, as well as a nice cold beer.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, the game starts, and the Bears go down and score, right? And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Hey, it's Thanksgiving. I get to spend the time with my son. All this is great. And then David Blau, who I'm excited about because we covered him, obviously at Purdue and doing some work for the Big Ten channel, have had a chance to interact with him about a bit. And I'm excited that he's starting on Thanksgiving Day for the Detroit Lions. First pass to TJ Hawkinson, your guy, it's a little bit underthrown. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, the moment's just a little bit big for him. He's warming up. And then all of a sudden, the third down play happens. And I see it all develop because I'm sitting up and I can see the rotation of the safeties. I can see Kenny Galladay getting free. And I'm like, oh, oh, here it comes. And then I see David Blau look downfield, and he launches it. And I can tell by the trajectory of the ball, and there's nobody around him, this is going to be a big play. So I instantly jump up and start cheering. I spill my nachos all over me and my son, and the beer spills on me as well.
Okay, so you had no experience in a big play with food.
No, because you've been standing next to me when a big play happens or I see something develop. I usually shove somebody.
You've hit me.
That seems a little violent.
But it's exactly what happened. But you
I get excited.
The thing is, you still get excited about good football when you see it, especially for the team that you want to win. But you had never spilled food.
I'm an inexperienced crowd fan.
Yes.
Very inexperienced, because then I spilled it all. And I'm looking at myself, too, and I'm like, not only do I have this mess on me, but I'm looking around going, I just ruined $45. This is ridiculous.
So did you have like the pump cheese all over the nachos?
Oh, yeah. Jalapenos.
And
I went with the ultimate nachos.
You did make a statement earlier. You never wear white clothes because.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't wearing white.
Yeah, okay, good.
And it just looked like, just blended in with everything else on my jeans.
Yeah.
So in the long run, I didn't really lose other than I lost my nachos.
Right. But you had never, ever gotten excited in the stands with a lap full of food. And
no.
Rookie mistake.
Yes.
Will you make the mistake again?
No.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
Yes, I probably
totally expect you to do it. Now, here's the key question. Did you spill beer or nachos on anyone you didn't know?
On anyone I did not know? No.
Okay.
No. Those who were sitting in front of me, I actually don't think they had showed up yet. So it was an empty seat. But we also had, so the Lions did me a favor. They gave those towels out as we're walking into the game.
Oh, like to wave?
The terrible towel. It's not the terrible towel, but it's and so I had, a couple of towels to help clean myself up. And I actually had some of it hit the towel. So it was still, anything that hit me or the towel went back into the container and was still going to be eaten. Yeah. Anything that hit the floor. I'm sorry. I'm a big fan of the 5-second rule and will extend it at times. But on the floor of Ford Field, no.
I was about to say, you got to draw the line somewhere.
That was a hard line.
All right, so you contained the spill to all over yourself, the rock.
Yeah.
What about your son, Little
My
Rock?
son got a little bit of no beer,
Rock.
but he did get some, and he looked at me like, Dan, what the heck are you doing?
What about your daughter, Pebble? Huh? Did someone see this in the stands?
Nobody said anything to me. I'm sure they did.
Were people like, oh my God, the Rock's in our section right now?
Come on, man.
The Rock just spilled food. Guys, the Rock. First pick for dodgeball, we'll take the Rock. Hey, did you invite the Rock to the game?
Where's my wrench? Let's play now.
All right.
Did you guys invite the Rock to the party?
I feel like these guys sense a weakness and they're going in for the kill.
What? Because of my nickname was The Rock?
The Rock's getting mad, dude. We got to stop, man.
No, sorry. I don't. They can say all they want.